The Saja Boys from K-pop Demon Hunters aren't just stylish villains with killer dance moves. They're victims of the entertainment industry's darkest side. If you think you know everything about K-pop Demon Hunters, think again. This goes deep. Here's where things get absolutely wild. Unlike every other demon in the film, the Saja Boys look remarkably human. Compare them to those grotesque creatures who attacked the Hunter X on the plane. One literally watering a plant with coffee because it had no clue how humans behave. Those demons had twisted features, claws, and monstrous appearances that screamed supernatural threat. But the Saja Boys? They've got perfect skin, styled hair, coordinated outfits, and enough swagger to sell out stadiums. More importantly, they understand human behavior. They know what people want to hear, how to move like performers, and even crafted lyrics comparing crushes to soda because they genuinely understand pop culture references. The film classifies them as Guishin, Korean spirits with unfinished business on Earth. These aren't just random demons. They're souls that never moved on, stuck between worlds, which explains why they retained human appearances and behaviors while serving Guima. The smoking gun appears in Dr. Han's office, a framed photograph showing several old-school celebrities. Fans have pointed out that 4 figures in this picture bear an eerie resemblance to Mystery, Abby, Romance, and Baby. Same energy, same styling, that unmistakable performer presence. Dr. Han only takes pictures with idols. This isn't speculation. The film establishes this detail deliberately. If those 4 figures are indeed the Saja Boys, it confirms they were once real performers in the entertainment industry. The tragic implication? They were probably unsuccessful. A forgotten boy band that never made it past their debut, dropped by their label, abandoned by fans who moved on to the next big thing. In Korean entertainment culture, there's even a term for this. Nugu, unknown or forgotten artists who fade into obscurity despite their talent and hard work. Imagine pouring everything into your dream only to watch it crumble. That desperation makes you vulnerable to exactly the kind of deal Guima specializes in. The film gives us Jinu's complete backstory, and it's absolutely heartbreaking. 400 years ago, during the Korean Empire era, Jinu was a street performer struggling in poverty. His busking couldn't feed his family, and desperation made him an easy target. Guima offered him everything: wealth, recognition, a position in the royal palace. The catch? Jinu had to abandon his mother and sister, trading his family for personal success. He accepted, became a palace entertainer, and Guima claimed his soul shortly after. Here's the devastating twist that Jinu doesn't know. His family survived. They were rescued by demon hunters, the very same lineage he'd spent centuries fighting against. For 400 years, Jinu carried the guilt of believing he caused their deaths, when in reality, they lived because of the hunters he became sworn to destroy. This backstory establishes Guima's pattern. He doesn't just steal souls, he preys on desperate artists, manipulates their dreams, and turns their ambition into eternal servitude. Jinu's story is the template for understanding what likely happened to the other 4 Saja Boys. Here's what separates Guima from typical animated villains. He's not just evil, he's strategic. When his demon forces failed to eliminate Hunter/X through direct attacks, he pivoted to psychological warfare by creating the Saja Boys. The genius move? Fighting fire with fire. Huntrix protects humanity through music and performance, so Guima built a rival group that could steal souls through the exact same method. Within their debut week, the Saja Boys' song Soda Pop made them industry sensations, rapidly accumulating the fan base needed for Guima's ultimate plan. But why specifically use failed entertainers? Because they understand the industry from the inside. They know how to craft catchy songs, execute complex choreography, appeal to fan psychology, and navigate the competitive entertainment landscape. Regular demons pouring coffee on plants clearly lack this expertise. More importantly, their desperation made them loyal. Having already lost everything once, They had nothing left to sacrifice except their humanity itself. Guima transformed their frustrated ambitions into demonic power, turning victims into perpetrators. Before we continue, hit the subscribe button, or you might become an unlucky man in this world. The Saja Boys' rising popularity wasn't about music industry success. It was about accumulating enough souls in one location for Guima to achieve godlike power. The International Idol Awards provided the perfect harvest opportunity. Millions of fans gathered physically and streaming globally, all vulnerable to the trance of your idol. Jinu, however, retained enough humanity to recognize the horror of this plan. He secretly met with Rumi, offering to forfeit the competition so Huntrix could perform their demon-banishing ritual. This rebellion cost him everything when Guima discovered the betrayal. The Demon Lord forced Jinu back into compliance through threats, then orchestrated the exposure of Rumi's half-demon heritage to shatter Huntrix from within. With the Hunters broken and the Han Moon destroyed, the Saja Boys began their soul-harvesting performance. What makes Jinu's redemption so powerful is how it contrasts with the other Saja Boys. While Mystery, Abby, Romance, and Baby seem to have fully embraced their demonic nature with no regrets about their deals, Jinu spent 4 centuries drowning in guilt over abandoning his family. When Guima moved to kill Rumi directly, Jinu made the choice that defined him. He took the lethal blow meant for her. In his final moments, he transferred his soul to Rumi, empowering her to actually wound Guima for the first time. That sacrifice broke the Saja Boys' united front. As Huntrix's song, What It Sounds Like, shattered Guima's control over the crowd, Mira and Zoe eliminated Mystery and Abby, banishing them back to the underworld. Baby and Romance's fates remain unclear, though they presumably got dragged down when the reformed Han Moon banished Guima and his remaining forces permanently. Here's what makes this storyline genuinely brilliant. Whether or not every theory about the Saja Boys' individual backstories is canon, the film absolutely uses them as commentary on real entertainment industry exploitation. The pressure to maintain perfect appearances, the invasion of privacy, the infantilization and sexualization of young performers, the commodification of romantic fantasy, the sacrifice of identity and family for success. These aren't subtle metaphors. They're direct reflections of documented problems in K-pop and entertainment industries worldwide. Real artists have spoken about the intense pressures, controlling contracts, and mental health struggles that come with idol life. Some compare it to selling your soul, which is exactly what Guima's deals represent literally in the film. The Saja Boys aren't just villains, they're cautionary tales about what happens when the pursuit of fame becomes all-consuming. They're victims who became monsters, performers who traded their humanity for success and found only servitude. The film intentionally leaves gaps in the Saja Boys' backstories, which has sparked intense fan speculation. We don't know the specific wishes that Mystery, Abby, Romance, and Baby made. We don't know exactly how long they served Guima or what they experienced during those centuries. Some fans theorize that Celine or Bobby might have been involved in recruiting the Saja Boys, given their insider knowledge of Huntrix operations and suspicious timing of certain events. While these theories are fascinating, the film doesn't confirm them. They remain in speculation territory. What we do know is that the Saja Boys were inspired by real groups like BTS, Stray Kids, ATEEZ, and Tomorrow X. Together, according to the creators. The name Saja itself carries multiple meanings, lion in Korean, but also pronounced the same as the word for dead person and referencing Jeoseong Saja, the traditional Korean Grim Reaper. The Saja Boys storyline elevates K-pop demon hunters from fun animated action to genuine social commentary. While most family films avoid criticizing the industries they depict, this movie looked directly at entertainment exploitation and said, "We are making this the villain's entire strategy." That's bold, that's necessary, and that's why the Saja Boys resonate so strongly with audiences who understand what happens behind the glamorous performances. Jinu's redemption proves that even those who've lost everything can still choose differently. His sacrifice saved not just Rumi, but potentially broke the cycle that trapped him for 4 centuries. The fact that he's the only Saja boy who redeems himself speaks to how rare it is for people caught in exploitative systems to escape. If you want more breakdowns of the hidden meanings in animated films that tackle real-world issues, check out these videos next.